Stream. Test, test, test. We should be streaming here, but I'm checking to make sure that we're good first. Let me make sure everything's good here. My preview has to be on that. Boom, boom, boom. We just got to make sure. You said what, Bill? My volume is coming in. We see the volume. Amazing. You guys see my orange? Huh? You think so? Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Okay. Amazing. So I just want to make sure we're streaming. I think that we're good. You guys see my orange background? It's very festive. Isn't it festive? We are about to start the show in a second here. We got some interesting stuff that we are going to cover on Halloween. It has nothing to do with Halloween because not gonna lie, I forgot. But we could just pretend it all ties together. Why not? Right? But I got an orange background, and it's going to stay orange the whole show. So I hope you're not mad about that. Because that's what's going to happen. But anyway, we're about to start the show. Let's get to it. We got some interesting stuff we're covering. So tell your peoples about the show. And let's make sure really quick before I do that this stuff is proper. Here we go, y'all. Something's low. What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday TV. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. It's another Tuesday. Happy to be here. Halloween Tuesday. Amazing, right? A lot of stuff that we're going to get into. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, we get into all the stuff, right? Amazing. Bill was just in here, and he would just make sure everything's A-okay, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Bill. And shout out to Nick, Hassan, the whole crew. They just be helping me get the show together. And that's what we do over here at the Bond Network, the JLP Network. We help each other out. And we're on the come up. So, amen. Amazing. So, let's get right into it. Topics to be covered. What did we talk about last week? How's it going, chat? What's up, chat? How are y'all? Amazing. Topics to be covered. Today, last week, what did we talk about? We covered some stuff, some interesting stuff last week. Last week, we talked about the reason why you can't find perfect peace, right? The reason why you cannot find perfect peace is being in your head, being in your mind. And we escape to our mind trying to wrestle with solutions to find perfect peace instead of surrendering and letting go and letting perfect peace find us, right? We escape into the mind trying to do 1 + 1 = 2. This adds to this. And we try to solve the own equation that only God can do, right? It's only up to God. Once we come out of our head completely, we have full faith, then we can move in the spirit, right? So we got into that, and we got into the details of that. So you could check that out. You could podcast that later after the show. That was episode 37, I want to say. So make sure you check that out later. Okay? And we also play some clips about some cops and some white people's kids and how, like, white kids scream and yell and cuss at their parents and all kinds of stuff. We got into it. It was fun. So you can podcast that. But today's topic, what are we getting into today? You saw the title, but the very moment society gave up. So I wanted to talk about this because I thought it was interesting that yeah, we never stop to reflect on like, how does society get to where it is today? How did this happen? Where do we go? And it all starts back to us. We got to go back and point at ourselves and think like, where did we drop the ball, right? And then you understand as a whole how society dropped the ball. So we're gonna get into that, get into some details. If the Lord is willing, I got some clips to play for you, and I think they're gonna be fun. So make sure you tell your peoples, so we can have a fun Halloween. You know what I mean? So make sure you do that. But before we get into that stuff, you know what you gotta do. You know what you got to do. Hit that like button. Smack it. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we can get the subscribers up and a message out. You still got time. Make sure you do it. All right? You guys been doing it. Thank you to the chat, all the supporters, all the people watching. It's appreciated. We're making the movement slowly but surely. And that's the whole point. Right? Heaven is on the way. Thanks to the JLP network. So, amazing stuff. It is a talk show, so you can call in 888-775-3773, and you can call in. We have some callers on the line as we speak. We will get to you guys soon, but there are some lines still open. 888-775-3773, and we can talk about anything you want. Topics at hand, non-topics at hand, Halloween, Christmas, whatever you want to do, argue, fight, fellowship. I'm here for it all in the name of Jesus. So 888-775-3773. Let's get into it. Amazing. I am on. And this time I didn't want to forget. But I do have some super chats and buy me a coffees and donuts to read. So I am going to read those. In the name of Jesus, I will read those. All right? So that way we can have fun with that. And I appreciate the support. And I just pinned the comment there. So what you can do is, if you can't, oh, excuse me, I just cracked pretty bad too. Gotta put my manly voice on. But if you can't call in, you can support the show, or you can send your question or comments to via super chat, which is in the comment section, or you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The good thing about Buy Me a Coffee is they don't take as much of a high percentage away from the support as YouTube does, right? But we still appreciate YouTube for allowing that feature to be available. But yeah, Buy Me a Coffee takes less of a percentage. So there is that option. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. I did pin it there. And the normal, easy, user-friendly way to super chat is in the chat box for YouTube. Amazing. Right? Now that that's out the way, let's get to the real stuff. Oh, lastly, I'm on Apple Podcasts. So if you want to stream the show without having to watch it because, for whatever reason, you just want to hear the audio, you're driving, whatever. Apple Podcast, I'm up there. Just type in Joel Friday TV or Joel Friday TV Podcast. You'll find my show. Click on the episode. It's not live, so you have to wait until after. But my past podcast episodes are all up there and ready for you to listen to. Amazing. We're working on Spotify. So, moving on. Amazing. So I wanted to say a few things, and then I'll get to some clips. The very moment the society gave up, it's interesting because the way the world is set up is like so insane. And we don't realize it because we've just been living in it for so long. And it takes about like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, sometimes 30 years, 40 years for us to stop and actually realize how we've been lied to. And after that many amount of years, we're like so deeply stapled into like these lies, right? So, but nonetheless, there's lies. And I think the moment society gave up was when we stopped thinking for ourselves, right? And that moment is different for everybody. But I think that is the moment that society gave up is when we stopped thinking for ourselves. We stopped having drawing our own conclusions, right? Looking within and really finding our own answers. Instead, we like to go for the quick things, the quick answers, right? We like to ride on the back of an opinion, even if it's not real. But we find confidence in just jumping on the back of an opinion, right? There's confidence in that, false confidence. But you feel like you're secure when you can stand on something rather than having nothing to stand on. So that's what society does. We just jump on the back of opinions, even if we don't believe them to be true, because at least we have an opinion and at least we can speak on it, but you end up looking silly, right? So society lost its, society went downhill when we stopped thinking for ourselves. And also when we started trusting the experts, right? When we started trusting the experts, trusting the people that you've been told that have the right answers, whether it's the scientist, whether it's the pastor, whether it's your teachers, whether it's the therapist, your parents, whatever, right? We started like trusting in them. And it doesn't mean that they're always wrong and they don't ever say anything right. No, that's not what that means, right? But it's that we stopped in general relying on the source to confirm what is right or wrong. And we just started trusting other people because we believed that, oh, they should have the right answer. That's my mom. Or they should have the right answer. He believes in science. He does research. You know what I mean? The therapist. They went to school for these things, right? But that's a lie. And we've seen in multiple cases where therapists have taught you the wrong thing. Your parents have taught you the wrong thing. Scientists give you physical information, but not wisdom. Right? And not all. But we just trusted into these people blindly because of we've been told that's what we're supposed to do. And then we end up in a pit, in a hole, in a ditch. And that's where society declines. It's not the World War. It's not the Big Bang. It's not earthquake. It's none of those things. It's that we stopped thinking for ourselves. That's it. That's the only reason why society has declined. Because society can't decline if everyone thinks for themselves, if everyone finds the source within, if everyone finds God, knows God, stands on the word, right? You can't decline, right? But we only decline in all the outer things that happen when you're standing on the word and you're strong in the spirit. Those things are subject to you, right? So those things wouldn't allow life to decline. They would just happen to us, right? But everybody would still be intact. But we decline when we allow those things to affect us, when those things internalize, when we stop thinking for ourselves, when we trust other people, when we lean on our own understanding. All those things are the reason why society has failed. So don't believe the experts when they tell you it's climate change and all this, the war, all that stuff. No, that's like symptoms. James says that all the time. Symptoms of problems, right? But that's not the actual issue, right? And we need to start getting back to the actual issue. So, yeah, not listening to the experts. And secondly, don't blame the experts, right? Don't blame the experts. Don't even blame yourself. Isn't that crazy? Don't blame the experts. Don't even blame yourself for the reason why you don't think for yourself and you've allowed these things to happen. Don't even blame yourself. Well, then who we blame? We don't blame anybody. We just acknowledge that our ego, the ego within, the evil nature has influenced us to do these things, right? The ego nature has been leading the way. Why has it been leading the way? Because we don't stop. We don't stop to reflect and think about what's going on in our life. Understand the chaos. So instead, we just go with the flow of whatever the ego leads. So you don't blame yourself because it's not that you intentionally are trying to have this agenda to do these things, right? But it's that there's something within you that's driving you to do the things you don't want to do, right? So it's about acknowledging that and not even trying to change it and be different or act different. That's the wrong thing to do as well. But acknowledge it, recognize it, be aware of it, right? And that awareness allows us to let go and have faith that God's gonna, fix the problem. And that's what he does. And we've seen it in our life time and time again, but it's still hard to have faith, which I understand. Even though we've seen evidence, we've seen him change our lives, as new things come about, it's still hard for us to keep that faith. But that's where it's at. Acknowledging that we're being led by another force outside of our control. So it was interesting because I'm thinking about okay, well, there's so many things that these experts have taught us that literally we live our lives by, right? We literally live our lives by these things that the expert present to us. And we trust them so much because they've done some amazing things. These scientists, these people, they've done some amazing things, right? And some very useful things. But we give our lives to them. And I want to give some examples here. And then I'll get to the super chats, and then I'll get to some calls. Now, mind you, before I get to this clip here, instead of stopping and being like, well, should I believe this? Even though we know it's kind of weird, instead of stopping to believe or to think should I believe into this thing? We don't, because we know that the reason why we feel this conflict is because we don't have an answer. And the reason we don't have an answer is because we're just unsure, right? We're confused. But confusion, and not to get off topic, but confusion is what creates conflict. Because when a person doesn't know something, the mind has to have an answer, or if it loses peace, right? That's what we think. And the reason why we have conflict is oftentimes, if you look at it, it's because we're confused about something, right? We don't have an answer, and we're wrestling in our mind trying to get an answer, a solution or something. So we just are so after all that conflict builds up, we just want to feel better. So then we pick the quick solution, even if it's the wrong one, just to get some relief. So instead of solving the problem, being patient, being still, asking the Lord, we choose to lie. And I'm going to play a clip. Oh, man. I'm excited to play this clip because it's so evident. about what's going on. So let me see. All right, y'all. Here we go. I found this off of TikTok, and these are just it's like a bunch of different clips together, and you'll see right here. Here we go. I'm not seeing video. Hold on, guys. Lord have mercy. For some reason, I'm not seeing videos not popping up. Is it there? You see it in the preview? Nothing? So this
yeah, now it is. You had your intro
wasn't cleared?
Yeah, now.
Now it's there?
Cleared, yeah.
So let me see right here. So we're about to find out. Okay. I know that cut off kind of abruptly. I'm still trying to work on all the stuff here. But as you can see, that clip was a clip of these females who bought this like piece of fabric that squeezes everything together. It makes it tight and hides the fat, right? And it hides the fat. And females wear this, and I believe this to be true because I've seen this. I've seen this happen. And females do this with zero shame. Zero shame. And they'll go outside wearing this, knowing that's not what they really look like, and deceiving the world. Now, in their minds, as humans, we don't think that, we're not looking at it as what we did is deception, right? We're just looking at like the satisfaction we're gonna receive from looking good and whatever the case is. But we ignore the fact that that's deceptive. That's not you. You know what I mean? Like all that is hidden underneath that fabric that you pulled up. So then you get the person, and the person sees what they like, they talk to you, and then eventually they have to see that you lied. So instead of doing the work, putting the work in, instead of not looking for the quick fix, instead of being sad about the fact that you think that you're not as beautiful, or you think that your body is not fit and it takes too long, then we lie. Why? And that's so crazy. It's just so, and I understand it because in some form or another, we all have little things that we do like that, which is insane, right? But you're lying. You're lying. You don't look like that. And we're looking at you in the public like, dang, she's so fine. That's why men have to overcome, people in general, but men, especially men, have to overcome this lustful desire that makes us act, right? Because we act based off of a look, and looks always change. And oftentimes the looks are deceiving. It's not even real. We're seeing it right there. So you chase this girl that you thought in your mind was the one because she looked so good. And I get it. I understand it. But we were led with that, and you just found out that it's not even real. It's fake. It's a lie. Looks change. But that's part of my point, is that instead of trying to find the solution in their mind of how to to actually find natural beauty, to find that fit body, to find that peace. Instead, we just pick up these other things, these false solutions. And we lie. And we walk around like we're not lying. Cheesing, smile, grinning. Meanwhile, our waist don't look like, her waist don't look like that. And to me, if I'm being honest, I like the real deal. The real deal. I'd rather a little bit of love handles than you trying to pretend like you don't have them. You know what I mean? Like I'm okay with the, a little bit here and there. It's not about being skinny. That's another misconception I think women think. It's not about being skinny because not everybody is naturally skinny. It's about being healthy. It's about being fit, right? Be fit, be healthy. You want to be a little firm. You don't want it to be just all just loose, right? But no one wants you to be skinny. Not everybody can be skinny. I like a little love handles. I like a little thickness, but I like healthy. But who am I? That's just my opinion as a guy. And most guys think that. I bet you anybody, without being inappropriate, I bet any guy here would rather a couple stretch marks here and there opposed to a fake body. Any guy would tell you that. Any guy would tell you that. But us guys have to stop accepting the lie. Stop accepting that. Because the woman wouldn't do it if we didn't accept it. They only do it to impress us. Guys, this is for the guys. The ladies only do that stuff, the lie. They only lie and hide and make these things fake and big and good looking to impress us. But if we don't deal with it and we don't accept it, they won't do it. So we got to get over this mess. Anyway, moving on. I got another one that I want to play. Looking for a big girl with no father. I heard women do it to impress other women. I heard that too. I heard women say that they do it to impress other women. I think there's a small percentage of that. But women don't care about other women like that. I'm telling you. Women don't care. I mean, maybe they do a little bit in the sense of wanting to be accepted and to be praised. And women are very much in competition with each other, way more than men are. But I think women are more so wanting a man than they want another woman's opinion. People are far more into wanting relationships and a man and all this stuff to be accepted by a man and all this stuff more than they are with a woman, impressing another woman. So I think part of that is in there. But no, women ain't getting no big boobs, fake butt for no other woman. That's for sure. They know that's what the guy wants. Men just want trapezoids. I don't even know what that means. Ego wars, that's for sure. Stole that. It's to intimidate other women. Maybe a little bit. Why you gotta be lying, Joel? I ain't lying. At least I don't think I'm lying. Matthew says, never heard of a man say, wow, those eyelashes are thick. Don't get me started on the eyelashes. Don't get me started. And my pet peeve too is not only the eyelashes, but when you see like the eyelashes like not on the eye and they're just like resting somewhere on like the counter. Don't make me throw up. Don't make me throw up. And the fact that you ladies put glue on those things and then you glue it to your eyelash, beyond me. Beyond me. But anyway, anyway. Let me move on. So, and then I'm going to get to some super chats and some calls, right? I just want to get this out the way. I was also scrolling. I'm like revealing myself at the same time, like how much I'm just scrolling on the internet. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, like scrolling. And I was on Facebook, I think, this time. And on Facebook, I seen this ad. And this ad was, let me make sure this is clear. Hold on. Let me clear everything. This ad was talking about energy, right? And I'm going to show you this ad, right? I'm going to read it to you guys. And this one blew my mind. This one blew my mind. But it was so interesting, and I wanted to share with you guys on the show today. So let me show you this ad. So this ad is from Kick, sponsored by Kick, so whoever they are. And it talks about energy. So let me go to another one because this is the better one that's closer up. So here we go. So says the ad says, nervous introvert presenters are using our adrenaline blockers. So the ad is about adrenaline blockers to go from shaky and sweaty to confidently cool. After witnessing thousands of celebrities, performers, and executives overcome stage anxiety, I've realized the real problem. It's not that they're introverts or shy. They simply have an overreactive nervous system. Right? He said, which makes it almost biologically impossible to be calm on stage. The solution isn't years of Toastmasters training, whatever the heck that is. The fact they even thought that was a solution, for one. But moving on, they go on and say, all they need is the insider's edge to instantly block adrenaline. I don't even know where to start with that one because there's so many things. For one, adrenaline blockers. For one, the fact that this person, and it was so mind-blowing when I seen it, but I understand that people just be making stuff up. But the fact that these adrenaline things are not natural, right? And what made me so confused was the fact that they said it's simply an overreactive nervous system. So this is why this is why we can't trust these experts. Because what they did is they did their studies, they went in their thing, they look at the brain, and they needed an answer. They needed something, right? And a lot of scientists do it like this. They needed something tangible, right? So they go in there and they see this stuff. And then they say it's your nervous system and it's biological. You can't change it. It's biological. Your nervous system is the problem. So here's these pills. And they give you the pills. And they paint the picture. And I don't think that they're intentionally trying to do this. Maybe some are. But Satan is intentionally doing it, though, using these people. Because the battle is not against flesh and blood, right? But Satan's using these people. But then they paint the picture to the world that is your nervous system. And what does that tell the world? You cannot overcome it. It's biological. It's in your nervous system. You can't overcome it. What kind of setup, what kind of false hope? That's creating hopelessness in people. That's why you can't trust these experts. Because they're lying. Right? And sometimes here and now, I got to say this so I can save my channel. Sometimes they may present the proper thing, and you can listen to it and you should follow it. But that's why you need to know yourself, know the spirit within to confirm if it's true or not. Because then they may not always be wrong. That's not the point that they're always wrong. That's not the point. The point is sometimes they are. So anyway, so not only are they, this company is introducing adrenaline blockers, which is only to make money off of you, because they know you don't have energy because you're depressed. Your spirit is not where it's supposed to be. So they know that. And they know that the world loves energy. They know that the world loves to feel good. So they create this because they know they're going to make money off of you. They know it, right? And then they dress it up in such a way to make you believe that it's going to be helpful for them and that it's natural. They'll just throw organic on it. So they give you these adrenaline blockers, and these adrenaline blockers are supposed to give you energy so you can go on stage and feel confident. And that just cured your stage fright, according to them. But that's totally wrong. And the reason why I know for a fact that it's wrong, because I've dealt with that kind of stuff. And most of us have. Like, what do you call it? Stage fright and all that stuff. But I'm gonna tell you what it was for me. Is that it's always a spiritual issue. It's always a spiritual issue. It's always a spiritual issue, right? And sometimes there's a need for you to get checked up on by medical professionals. So I'm not saying don't do that, but it's always a spiritual issue. And for me, my fear of stage or my fear of being in public or in front of people was not due to biological. No, it's because I always had a fear of rejection as a child. Because just the way I think and the way I moved around a lot, different type of things in my life allow me just to have this fear of rejection. There's this fear there, right? That stemmed from my parents too, but that's a whole nother story. But fear of rejection, right? And that fear of rejection made me desire to always want to fit in because I never felt like I did. So because I never felt like I fit in, I always wanted to be accepted by other people, right? Wanting to be complimented and appreciated, right? Because I had this persona, that's not the right word, but I just had this idea that I just wasn't. I was just wrong, right? So when you do get a little bit of praise here and there, you want to like hold on to it, right? You want to grip onto it. And you like dread, you have nightmares, you have a fear about being in public and being humiliated and being embarrassed because your whole life you're trying to get away from being the judgment of yourself for one as weak or bad or different, weird, right? You just want to be accepted. So when you go on stage, you have to go on stage, your only fear is circled around you hoping they accept you and you hope not to make a mistake so you're not embarrassed and have to feel that conflict of the embarrassment even further. That's what that's about. Ain't got nothing to do with biological, ain't got nothing. It has to do with this false belief, this judgment you have in your mind about yourself. Judging yourself as weak, judging yourself as weird, off, different, right? Wanting acceptance from other people, which is all based off of judgment, right? So you have these judgments and we identify with these things that aren't even us, right? And we just don't want to reveal it. And it has nothing to do with biological stuff. And what happens is we take these adrenaline boosters, whatever it was, and we take them and whether it be adrenaline boosters, drugs, whatever it is, and we feel good and we feel confident, right? And I've heard Andrew Tate talk about like, I cannot live. He's like the number one super drug, and he said it, and he admits it, and he's proud of it. He says the number one super drug to take is coffee and I forgot something else he said. But he said, I drink like 12 cups of coffee a day. That's what he says. And he owns it. He's proud of it. He's like, I drink 12 cups of coffee a day. He's like, I like to feel energy, but also a little bit of irritability. Oh, because he only eats one time a day. He eats at night, and he drinks 12 cups of coffee. And he's proud of it. So these things, they do give you an energy, and they do give you a thing, and it does make you feel good, and it does make you feel strong and clear and sharp. And that's where the addicting part comes in, because it makes you perform at a higher level. But the reality is, and people are not gonna like me for it, but the reality is that we already have that within us times 20, right? The energy of the spirit, the natural energy, no crash, no nothing, that's already there. But the reason why we don't understand it or have access to it, because we don't know how to get it, right? Because we rely on these other things, so we never even give ourselves the opportunity to figure out how to do it, right? And it's not easy. So I'm not saying like that you're just going to be able to do it, right? Because we get hooked on these things. But that's the reality, is that we don't allow ourselves the space to find out how to get that natural energy. Like, how do we get it? Where do we go to get it? Right? And when you do that, I'm not lying, when you take the time to try to figure out how to get it, try to figure out, okay, well, ask the right questions. God, I don't have this energy. What do I need to do? How do I get the right energy? I don't want to be hooked on these things. I don't want to be hooked on these things. What is the alternative? I'm not even lying. Asking God those questions. God, what do I do? Lead me. Show me the way. And then things start to make sense. Oh, and then you realize you have this energy, and then you start to rely on that. And then the natural energy starts to come. But it takes a little bit of time because you're learning. People don't like time. People don't want patience. People want now. Not even realizing that in the pain, the struggle of, let's just say, not doing it, not having that like stimulus, that stimuli, whatever they call it, not having that, God is still like helping you get through the day, right? But it's there. The natural energy is there times 10, times 100. And you can overcome. I'm so tired of hearing the scientists say that kind of stuff, because they're actually drugging you up. That stuff's not good for you. Adrenaline shots, come on. Those things are going to have side effects. You take them long enough, you keep putting things into your system, you take it long enough, you're going to have side effects. And like I said, it don't mean that we're going to change it all in a day, but it's not about changing. It's about being aware and being honest about it and being aware. Acknowledging like, look, something's going on here. And then it'll start changing on its own. Trust me, I ain't lying. So I say all that to say this. There comes a time where we have to just stop and face the truth. Just face it. Stop for a second. The ladies trying to like impress the man and the woman, and just stop and be like, what's going on? And be aware. And you'll feel better. And it'll feel better than the fake dress that gets you skinny. Because you learn to start accepting yourself. And then you start to change. And then you start to change. You end up going to the gym a little bit more. Because now you're clear. Stop trusting these experts and these scientists and these people that are just trying to make money. They don't care about you. But you gotta care enough about your well-being to not allow them to take advantage of you. Across the board. So that's what I gotta say about that. I hope that made sense. Let me get to some super chats and then I'm gonna get to a call. Okay? Let me get to some super chats and I will get to a call. Because I appreciate the support here. So, super chats. Let me see. Okay, you guys want me to go to a call first. Okay. I'll go to a call. Let me go to, also there's some lines open, y'all. You want me to take calls, but you ain't calling. What do you want me to do? There's some lines open here. 888-775-3773. Call in. And I'll take some calls. But let me go to Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. Rick, what's up, man? You're on the air. Welcome to the show.
Man, my brother Joel, man. Good talking to you, man. Hey, I love your intro music, my friend.
Right on. Appreciate it.
You got some dance moves, man, for sure.
Right on. And the song is So Callous. Just a quick plug here. The song is So Callous and it's called Count on Me, and that's the song that's playing in the intro. But go ahead, Rick. I appreciate it, man.
Man, no problem, man. I just wanted to, what do you think about these mail-in votings, man? Because I see a lot of people do mail-in voting, but they do it all the way to election day, man. They should stop mail-in voting at least 2 weeks before the election. When you think?
Yeah, I don't agree with mail-in votings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like mail-in voting. I
don't either.
Us go into
but usually the military uses mail-in voting because a lot of times the military be deployed, so they allow them to use the absentee ballot.
Yeah.
And some people, and you got some people that works overseas, they allow them to use it, but they let each and everybody. They got so many ways you can vote. They even got early voting. The way I look at with all this stuff, how they catering to encourage you to vote. If you don't vote, you just don't want to vote. That's the way I look at it.
That's what I was gonna say is that, like, I'm sure, yeah, there's exceptions to the rule. Like, if you have to do your vote by mail, then there should be a designated system that is for those who have to vote by mail. But I don't think everybody should have the option to vote by mail, only because there's so many ways you could cheat and all this kind of stuff, sending multiple
I don't like
things.
It either, for that reason.
Yeah, and if you go in person, obviously you're serious enough that you want to vote that way. So it's basically what it is to me is that it seems like they want to make it so you're not. It's not your choice to vote. They want to make voting an obligation when it should be. To me, it should be a choice. And the people who go into the voting booths and vote, that's because they want to do it. But nowadays they do the mail-in things. Not all cases, but they just want to make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. But that's like manipulative to me. So that's just how I see it.
Because I tell you right now, man, if they don't get control of that mail-in voting, man, they can steal an election again, man.
Yeah, I heard last time they did. Last time there was people that were sending in multiple different. They had like their cat's name on a ballot.
Right,
yeah, it's like crazy stuff. How do you watch that to make sure that's not happening? That's why it's best to go in person and do these things.
I think, to an extent, I think that, especially like the Democrats, they love the mail-in voting. They love it.
For sure.
And like if you get close, like when it's election time, to me, back in the day, man, doing presidential elections, you'll find out the next day who won the presidency. It takes 2 to 3 days to find out who won the president now, man. And you used to be able to find out the night before you go to bed.
Why is that though? It's because they're counting all the mail-in ballots, or
Yeah, see, like Barton, we can't make a decision yet until we get out the mail-in vote. So they
yeah.
got to come from overseas. That's why, to me, they should have at least a 2-week period, and all mail-in voting should stop. That gives them all the chance to come in, and then it's only in by election day, and they can count everything up right there.
Yeah,
but they allow them to do mail-in voting to the day of election.
Yeah, it just seems very tricky, and it seems kind of like agenda driven in certain ways to try to get like as much vote as possible and try to make sure that. And I think that it should be like monitored more closely than just mailing in a bunch of. Because sometimes you'll get mail from a house that has like a bunch of people that lives in that one house, and they may not even live anymore. But you could just put your name on anything. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. It just seems like a cheap way to just get some votes. So yeah, I think it would be best, in my opinion, if for those who can't go in person, boom, they do the mail-in vote. But the people who can, are capable, should go into the booth and do it that way.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I just think they just need, to get control of that, man. Now, do you like Trump, or you rather see someone else?
I mean, I like Trump, and I just like him as a person, though. It's a little bit different. Like, I mean, I know a few things here and there. I'm not as invested into like, candidates and who's running and like policy as much as like, other hosts on that, like James and Nick and them as well. But I just like Trump as a person, and I like to do my best to like judge the character and make my decision based on somebody's character, and do it like that. And then hear everybody out though. Like I hear, James's take, Jesse's take, everybody's different takes on like certain things, and I just try to draw my own conclusion from there. But man, I just like people who just deal with things like firmly, right? And they stand their ground, and they think for themselves. I can lean more on that than, somebody that's just in there and they say all the right words and make you feel good, and I don't like that kind of stuff. It just seems deceptive.
Well, a lot of people don't like Trump, man, because they feel like, we'll go back and forth, man. We ready to do someone else, and I'm with you, man, because it's like, man, a lot of people don't have a backbone no more, man. People, just, if you would.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. I agree, Rick. Yeah, and there was a certain element too of when he was in there, there's just a certain element of like I don't know if it was just from the way he spoke, or like I don't know what it was, but there was a certain energy about it that definitely felt like okay, this is a guy who is definitely more confident than we've seen, but also firm. And there was like you kind of feel that from just all that was done. So I just appreciate the strength that comes from him when I see him do his speaks or when he does his talks or whatever the case is. I just see it in that kind of way. I don't know too much about certain things like policy and all that.
When President Biden won the election, and when President Trump said, I wasn't going through inauguration, I thought he was going to mess around and just go for it because, it's the tradition. But he didn't even go. I thought that was funny.
When he did what? I didn't.
You remember when Biden won the election, and you know how the outgoing president goes to his inauguration when he first got elected, and Trump didn't go. He didn't go to Biden.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. I love that kind of. See, that's the thing. Is like I love that kind of stuff because there's just like this idea of that like you gotta do all the things that it's said to do. You got to make sure that you go to these things because that's what the Republicans are supposed to do. The presidential candidates are supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't like that. I don't like doing it because you should do. No, it's that he saw he shouldn't do it, so he's not going to do it, and he can't be controlled in that way. And I respect that, and I much rather have that for a president than being so like what do you call it? But just so do what you need to do because you should, and that's what you're told. I don't like that. I don't like that type of energy. And Trump does whatever he wants to do. He does what he says, whatever he wants to say. And whether
I thought that was funny though. When he go to President Biden's inauguration, I thought that was funny, because I didn't think he was going to do it. Because that's always been a tradition. Every president went to the president's inauguration. And Trump took the first plane out.
I respect it. I appreciate it. I just got to move the calls here a little bit more, Rick, but I appreciate it, man.
Joel, what's the name of that song again? Your intro song?
Yeah, it's called Count on Me by So Callous. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff.
Okay, gotcha, brother. Hey, love you, Joel. Keep up the good work, man. I'll be in too.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. Oh, shoot. Sorry, James. I had the clicking sound. I like that's why I said call me and talk about anything, because I like that was a different pace of the show, and it also keeps the show fresh. So don't be shy about talking about other things and calling and talk about, even if I don't know it. I'll just answer what I believe, but talk to me about whatever. You can call in about whatever. It's not it doesn't specifically have to be, Christian stuff and all that. I'm open to the conversation. And if I don't know, then I just don't know. Maze. Let me go to Maze. Who's ready to hear from Maze? Let me ask the chat. You ready to hear from Maze? Everybody ready? Okay, let me go to Maze. Maze from Dayton, Ohio. Welcome to the show. You're on there.
Oh, you're so funny. But when it comes to mail-in voting, when they send it back to the post office, it's against a lot of open mail from the post office, and they also have your name, and they scan it to see if you're on the voter roll to make sure that you're the person. That's why they knew they had cat names and all of the stupid names that didn't exist. That's how they found out.
But didn't those cat names still get through to the system?
No.
Weren't those still being counted as votes or no?
No, they can't count them as voters. It's not a person that's on the voter roll.
But how come? But I also heard, in which I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that there's immigrants who are illegal aliens voting, and they don't have to have an ID or nothing. They just get to vote.
Is that a myth or somebody spreading, or is it true?
Is it true? I'm
You
asking.
have to watch out for those things.
But you think it's true, or you don't think it's true at all?
No. And also, when it comes to voting, you're not supposed to be liking a person to vote for them. You
Maze, you went out. You there? Maze. She went out. Maze. Call me back, Maze. I gotta drop her. Maze went out. Yeah, so I know you guys are looking at the time and wondering, like, Joel, why aren't you ending? Nick doesn't have a show after, so I think I'm gonna go a little bit longer, just so I can get to these super chats and talk to you guys a little bit longer. If you guys don't mind, is that cool? Amazing. See the chat? Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna keep it going for a little while longer. But yeah, what Maze was saying, Maze, call back in if you can. I don't know what happened. But I do think that there are people who can vote, and like immigrants who are voting, and they don't need to have an ID. I do believe that that's a possibility, because the reason why I believe that's, and like I don't know for as fact, but the reason why I believe it is because in California there's illegal aliens who don't even have a driver's license and get pulled over and get let go because of the fact that they're illegal and they have this like grace, right? And I'm not saying that that's wrong or right, whatever, right? But it's the fact of that, yeah, I think there is a leniency, and obviously it benefits the people who are being voted in if they have more votes, whether it's from a person who's illegal or not. So do I doubt that there's illegal votes or people without IDs are able to still vote? I think that's definitely happening. And do I think that the mail-in votes can be fake and duplicated? It's possible, but I'm not sure. But I believe that it's possible. So that was just to answer what Maze was saying. But let me get to some super chats real quick. And then if Maze calls back in, then we could talk. The lines are open, y'all. 888-775-3773. 888-775-3773. Let me get to some super chats, and then maybe I'll read some of the chat messages as well. So my good friend Isaac sent bought 3 donuts. I think he bought more than that. I think he bought like 5. Let me see. Isaac brought 3 to 5 donuts, and that's all. I appreciate it, Isaac. You the best, man. I talk to Isaac all the time. Isaac is one of my good friends, and he's engaged, actually. Isaac is engaged, and he's a young guy. He's in his 20s, engaged, met a nice lady, it seems like, and he's getting married. I met him through Bond, through Jesse. Yeah, I appreciate the support. He's always supporting and watching the show. So thanks, Isaac. I appreciate it. Amazing Asia sent a few donuts here. She's trying to fill me up. Asia says, for some reason, I hardly ever catch your show, and then I don't go back and watch it. But from now on, I will tune in. I like how you stand on what you say for the most part, even when Jesse and the gang are all against you. The show you did on vulnerability was amazing, and I understood what you were saying. Thank you, Asia. Somebody had my back. Keep standing on your square, player. It is much appreciated. Right on, Asia. I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. I'm glad I got a friend in this world. No, it's all love. It's all love from everybody. Even those that disagree. She goes on to say, because she bought a bunch of donuts. She goes on to say, I just realized I didn't buy you a coffee, but a donut. Let me guess, you don't like coffee. LMAOOOOO. Even in the super chats, you stay true to yourself. I love it. Put some respect on Joel's name out here in these YouTube streets. Right on. And she said one of these salute things. Thank you, Asia. Back at you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the love. And then she goes on to say, what's her She goes on to say, what's her name? What's her name? I can't answer the question until I know her name. Hilarious. Sorry, I had to. If you guys don't know what she's referring to, not this past Sunday, but 2 Sundays ago, or maybe 3, I don't know. There was a clip, and it's also posted on Jesse Lee Peterson Instagram, where Jesse asked me in church what I thought about a question he was asking. And there was a girl that was before me who answered the question. And I liked her answer. I thought she gave a good answer, a really good answer. So when Jesse got to me and I was on the mic, I was like, it's exactly what the lady in the braid said. I didn't know her name, right? I didn't know her name at the time. So I wanted to properly address her. So I said, what's your name in the braids? And then she told me her name. And then Jesse just went to town. Jesse went to town. He was like, oh, you had to get her name, huh? We knew what you were doing. And I was like, there was no agenda. It's a funny clip. You got to make sure you guys check it out. It's on, I think it might be on YouTube. I don't know. But Instagram, Jesse Lee Peterson's Instagram is kind of funny. But that's what Asia is referring to. And I'll never live it down. But that's okay. Thank you, Asia. I appreciate it. You the best. Okay, let me go back to Maze. Thank you guys for the super chats. Amazing. I think I missed one, but I'm not gonna miss it. Spoiler alert says, buy me a plate of spaghetti. Ooh, with meatballs, spaghetti and meatballs. And he also says, girls just want to have fun, referring to the clip I played with the girls with the little tight things that makes their fat disappear. Thank you, spoiler alert, for the support. You the man. Yes, spaghetti and meatballs with like Parmesan cheese and crushed peppers and hot sauce all on it. And then you slice the meatballs in half, depending on the size that they are, and then you eat it like that. Stop playing. Shred some cheese on the top as well. Make sure it's melted cheese. Stop playing. Don't play with me. Thank you, spoiler alert. I appreciate it. Let me go back to Maze. Maze, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What happened? Your phone?
No, it wasn't my phone.
Oh, I don't know. But go ahead.
James playing games.
It was a setup. It was a setup.
Yes. As I was saying, you don't vote for people because you like them. You should do investigating and see what about them that they're doing that you like. Not the like of, like we hear these people going to vote for people because of who they like. That's why we got the people we have in office today, some of them.
Well, I think that, I slightly disagree with what you're saying. I think it's good. I think it's good to know what they're about.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but I think that it's okay to make a decision based off of you liking them. Now, people today make decisions off of liking people. They don't like them. They just think that they just pretend to like them. But like when I say certain things like Trump, is based off of things that like I genuinely see that I value as far as principles go. And if I can see that in him, then I can see that he may make good decisions here and there. So I'd much rather trust that than seeing somebody who I don't see those values.
Oh, really? So as I say, I have friends that's in office that I would not vote for them. And they are my friends.
But yeah, because you don't agree with their values, right?
That's right. And then people don't, it's not the value, it's the things that they do. Because if you have value, the things that you do is breaking the law. And they don't have no value if they breaking the law.
Right.
Why would I be voting for them?
But the reason why I like Trump is I like the values that he has and the way he presents himself. And if you could trust the values, then those values make decent decisions.
Well, you can like who you want to, and I can like who I want to.
Right.
I don't care for Trump because I don't like his values.
Oh, can you give me one value that you don't like from him?
One value I don't like because
Yeah.
of how he did before he became president in New York. The things that he was doing before that. So if he did it that way, the things he was doing before he became president, he would do them when he became president.
How you? Oh, man, that's not Christian. Oh, you're not Christian, but that's not.
Got to do with it. That's the problem.
But that's
Those
not
that
God-like.
people, They need to let it go. And another thing, Lockwood, what he
Wait. That's not God-like. That's not God-like, Mace.
I'm not talking about God-like. A whole lot of things, people on that's Christian, nothing is God-like.
No, but
like,
I'm saying that you are holding that against him, but you don't know that he's doing that. But you say that he's going to do that. If he did that then, he's going to bring that into the office today. Doesn't mean that he could have found the Lord.
You're right. Now you're going to find the Lord holding the Bible upside down.
What that mean?
He might find it before it's over. If he would have went into that White House and did right and not leave the way he left in anger and all of the stuff that he did.
In anger, how?
Like everybody else leaves.
How you leave in anger? How you leave in anger?
He did it out of anger the way he left.
How?
They're still doing stuff out of anger.
Oh, because he was trying to stand up for himself because he believed that they stole the election?
Well, that's what he believed. Proof will show that what he believed was is it true or false, and we'll wait till that time comes.
But you're believing that he's lying.
I said before New York. before he became president in New York.
Oh, so
when he
you're
was a Democrat.
So you're
When he
holding
was a
on to
Democrat.
So you're holding on to the past
No, I'm not holding on to the past. That would be a reason why I would not vote for him.
because of his past.
I would not vote for Chuck Schumer. If I had to vote for him, I would not vote for him either.
But okay, well, what about his present? Do you think the things that he's done in the present are
Oh, the
good
things
things?
he's done in the president is just evil. As
Evil.
y'all call it.
Okay, name one thing, and then we can move on.
Name one thing. What
Yeah.
he calls names that he called people, and how he did his niece.
What? Give me an example.
Names that he calling people, or whatever that word Jesse used all the time. I don't say the word, but whatever he used.
Which one?
Huh? One of the words he used
The-
that Trump used, Jesse used.
The one
He
where
only told the truth one time, and nobody was listening to him when he said it.
when you was talking about the Mexicans.
Yes, that too.
Oh yeah, I don't quite agree with him with the name calling thing, but I think that the point he was trying to make was valid. Like there are rapists, there are people who come across the board that are rapists, and that's factual stuff.
You got him here.
You said what?
You have him here. So what's the difference? What are you talking about those for?
Right,
And
but
he
we don't
was
want no
accused of being one.
more. We don't want more.
He was accused of being one.
Right, but he was accused.
So were we supposed to believe that?
He was accused.
Yes.
We don't know for sure if it happened.
That's why we don't know for sure. So he don't know what them coming across the border is doing. It's just a hatred thing that they pass around to each other. But what I was saying, how you choose the people that you vote for, it's not about liking them. Because you can like somebody and they can be the sweetest person it is, and they will never make it into office for doing right.
Right,
And hiding
doing
taxes
right.
was another thing
And Trump is like a right kind of guy.
to you.
He may get things wrong here and there, right? But
Okay.
he's a right type of guy.
Well, that's what you say, Joel.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. And showed me.
Whatever, Mace.
So anyway, as you were talking about the Christian, what Lockwood said today.
Oh, that was so deep. You guys got to check that
I've
out.
been telling you all that, but y'all weren't listening to me.
What? Oh, you
What Lockwood was saying today. I said that last month.
you said it?
Yes.
Oh, right on. I didn't hear it, man. Right on.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all missed it. I guess the Holy Spirit must have hit him and it came out today. As y'all say. Not the Christian spirit, the Holy.
That's a good one, man.
To hear the truth. And he was telling the truth about what he was saying.
So you agree with what Bill Lockwood was talking about
No,
today?
I don't agree with what he was saying. The proof, I agree with. Not what he
What
was
do you
saying.
mean? You don't agree with what he was saying, but you agree with the proof?
Yes.
What does that mean?
So he proved what I've been saying. When I said in 46, I thought I had an old Bible talking about Palestine.
Right.
Do you remember that day I was on Jane's show or your show, one of the two?
I don't remember. I don't remember the Palestine
Well, yes,
thing.
and I was telling you, and Israel did not exist at the time. And that's what I was going into, explaining.
Right. So then he was right. So then you were in agreement with what he said because you said that you once said it. So how did you disagree with him?
I didn't say I disagreed with him. I said he told the truth. That's what I said.
But you don't like him.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I don't talk to people that I don't like.
Oh. But you said that you don't
There's
like.
very few people that I don't like. I haven't found one yet that I don't like.
Okay. So
Just
then
because you don't agree with people don't mean you don't have to like them.
that's fair. That's fair. So you agree with him, and what he was saying was right.
I was saying I said that, and he just proved what I said was right.
So right. So then he was right about what he said.
Yes.
That's all I wanted you to say.
He came with the proof today. I don't know where it's been. And he told the truth about the Christian people, like they are the chosen one. But if you talk about Miriam, you talk about Moses, and you talk about all those people, some of them were Ethiopian, weren't they?
I don't
So
know.
do the land belong to who? Nobody would never say. That's what you need to figure out, and then you'll stop saying whose side you're on and who you stand with.
Yeah, I everything that was said today, I didn't know too much about, and maybe you have said it, Mace. Maybe you have said it. I didn't hear you say it or not, but everything that was said today, that Bill Lockwood said, was very interesting and very insightful. And if you were saying the same things, then right on.
Yeah.
You know.
But anyway, so you were saying like how he and again with Trump, how he disrespected John McCain, then go to his funeral and all that stuff. That's not presidential.
He disrespected John McCain. How?
He didn't go to the funeral.
But also,
All the other presidents went.
But why does he have to go to but what? So just because the other president went, he got to go?
No, that's what they do for Congress people, don't they?
But that's
All the
fake,
presidents
though.
go.
But why are we going just because that's what we're supposed to do? That's
That was
disingenuous.
the duty of a president, one that's got that dignity.
But that's why I like.
and
But that's why I like.
thought.
That's why I like Trump is that he don't operate on the duty of the president. He operate on what's right. If he don't, if he has a
right.
disagreement, why does he need to go to a funeral? Who want to go to funerals in the first place anyway?
Well,
Depressing.
I guess if he ever had one, won't nobody go either. And then I guess people would be upset.
No, but they shouldn't be. Because why?
He's representing the country, and he should be representing somebody that was in the party with him. But he didn't.
But how you know behind closed door he wasn't like, you know what, John McCain, I wish him well and I may his soul
That's
rest in
not what
peace.
he said.
You don't know?
Yes, okay, Joel, you just joking yourself, I guess.
No,
But anyway, as I said, you can like him and you can love him and you can vote for him if you want to. I'm not gonna hate you because you did. That's your opinion. But don't try to push it to make somebody else do it. That's because you're doing it. Just like they say, you don't go down the same road the other people in that office going down. You're going your own way.
Yeah, I agree. Don't make nobody.
You got to the point you can care less of trying to make somebody your friend or people to like you. You said that's what you were looking for all your life, and you stopped looking for it, so you found Joel, and you don't need nothing else.
Right. So, but there's a reason why I feel like there's an agenda behind what you're trying to say.
No, that's not an agenda.
But why you bring it up? Are you saying
because
that?
you found you, and you don't have to follow other people. When you find yourself, you don't follow other people. You see it your way, they see it their way, and you got your opinion. You give your opinion, and they give their opinion, and there's no hatred and nothing.
But are you saying other people? Are you saying other people here at the program don't do that?
No,
Okay.
they lockstep each other.
You said they're what?
They're lockstep with each other.
They're,
So if they were going off a cliff, everybody jump out with you, because you be standing up there looking at them. Cause you
well, that's why. Why did you just say that instead of trying to like swindle me and like say
No,
all tricky?
no, it's not tricky. I'm just telling you the way I see it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
I don't follow people either. And that's why I can care less what they say about me or how they feel about me. I'm going to always be me.
That's
and I'm
right.
going to tell you the truth if you like it or not.
That's right.
And that's the way it should be.
I agree. I appreciate it, Maze.
And don't teach people to try to hate other people just because you don't like
See,
them.
look, now go back to agenda. Look at you.
No.
Now you go back. Now you put it out there.
I don't, just like I say, I want to hate Jesse, but I can't because something won't let me. And I still can't hate him. I don't care what he has to sit there and say every
Because
day.
he's very likable. He's very likable.
What?
He's a very likable guy.
But I have a cousin that just hates his guts, and she don't even want to hear me.
I know,
She's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And respect to you.
And she called me crazy because I don't dislike him.
Respect to you, though, for being able
You think I care
to.
for how she feels? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
And
But
I
you
respect
have a
that.
good one, Joel.
Right on, Maze. I appreciate
Keep
it.
on doing your thing.
Thank you, Maze.
Mm-hmm.
You too. Have a good one. Amazing. But she do be like sneaking in her little things in there. Her little like side comments, back comments. And it'll be like dressed in such a way to be like she's complimenting you, but then it has like a little thing behind. But that's okay because I like Maze. Maze is fun. Maze is cool. She nice. And yeah, it's fun to talk to her. Man, it was kind of nice going over some time. Like I felt like I was like more going at and not worried about the time. You know what I mean? More relaxed. That's kind of fun. You know what that might mean? You know what that might mean? We might gotta add a second hour. I don't know. What's the Lord saying? Let me see. Let me answer some questions and then I'll end. Let me see. Yeah. Hake says more relaxed, less cut short feelings. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I gotta cut it off so I can just try to make it for time. Somebody said, never mind. Hake said, Maze do be sneaking in her little things. Oh, she be sneaking. Let's see. That's so funny. Yeah, Bill Lockwood's thing today on Jesse Lee Peterson's third hour stream today from the show, amazing. Insightful, in depth. He backed it up. He got some receipts. Well, I guess you can't know if he backed it up unless you go look it up, but they can like speak to your spirit. And it was and he laid it out so well, and he knew what he was talking about, and it made so much sense. And I like that kind of stuff. And I always liked Bill Awkward. He always seemed like a very honest man, an honest man. So if you didn't check that out and you want to like really know like some history about Israel and Palestine and why Israel was exiled in the first place and how they came back and all that stuff, Bill Lockwood laid down the details. Clear. Right? And yeah, it like filled in a lot of blanks for me. So make sure you go check that out on Jesse Lee Peterson live stream from today when you get a chance. It was amazing. She really is. He can. Somebody said Mays definitely got a Nissan Altima with a diamond license plate border. That's funny. Who goes to funerals these days? Yeah, like, no offense. Respectfully, it ain't about respect to me. Like if you, it's not that you shouldn't go to them, but it's like, why you want to go to them? How could you feel crazy sitting up there for one? If you didn't really like the person, that person didn't like you, and they died, you're not just gonna show up to the funeral just because of the fact that that's what the president should do. Like, for one, funerals in general, don't get me started. Don't get me started. So I ain't got no problem with him not showing up to the funeral. Bigger problems at hand. Yeah, make sure you guys check out. Nick has a Halloween show tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know what he got in store, but if he say he got something special, oh, it's going to be special. So make sure you guys check that out. The American Anchor Baby show is streaming tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And you don't want to miss it. So make sure you guys check that out. Let me read a couple more here, and then I'll be gone. Joelle, you ever been a casket dancer? Never. I don't know. Because there are casket dancers. There's people like who dance at the casket thing, but they do it. It's very dramatic. I've never been like that. I just like the fun stuff. You know what I mean? I was never a casket dancer. And they paint the face sometimes. That's mostly in the black community. I wasn't raised in a black community like that, or like went to black churches like that to where they did those type of ceremonies. No. I'm just not into that. Someone says, I don't attend funerals, maybe one in the last 10 years. Yeah, and if you don't want to go to them, that's fine. If you do, that's fine too. You know what I mean? There should be no shame about, oh, you didn't show up to the funeral. What the? The funeral. The funeral. The funeral. Anchor Baby at 7 p.m. Eastern today. Yep. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Don't even know. People are like, what is a casket dancer? A casket dancer, from what I believe, a casket dancer is dancers who they go, and I've seen it this way. It may be different ways to do it. There probably is. But they like paint their face and they'll do like a dance at the funeral in like remembrance to the dead, to like the person who died. But it's a performance aspect. It's like singing. It's just the same idea as singing a song at a funeral. You go up there and sing like a sad song and or like a song that maybe lifts people's spirits, a funeral song. It's the same kind of way, a form of entertainment made up. Anyway, show us the dance. There's not even a specific dance. It's just choreography. It's just dance moves in like a dramatic way, right? To like bring people comfort in their sorrow, right? So when you dance this way and you do all this kind of stuff, it makes people like feel sad, right? It feels like it's emotional and it's very soft and gentle, and people love to see that when they're going through certain things. Dance is actually very it's very visual, obviously, right? But it does like alter a mood. It makes you feel something. So there's music that when you hear it, it makes you feel something. But when you see it also, it makes you can influence somebody to feel something as well. So when they do that, it just like, you know, I never was into that. It's very sad and depressive, and a lot of dancers operate from that place. Like they dance to like release. That was never my thing. I never danced to get things off my chest. It never worked for me that way. I used to try because people used to tell me, you should like dance to like get rid of some steam or get rid of stress or like as like an outlet. It never worked for me that way. The only time I dance and enjoy dancing is when joy is involved. Like I want to, it's fun, right? That's the only thing that drives me to dance, is when it's like joy. But people do it how they do it. Anyway, I gotta end. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. That was kind of fun going over a little bit of time. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the super chats and all that good stuff in the comments. Y'all are amazing. Until next time, like I said, make sure you check out Nick's show, the American Anchor Baby Show, at 4 p.m. Pacific time today. Happy Halloween. Have fun. Be safe. Be smart. Right? It's still Tuesday. It's still the weekday. Make sure you be smart. And watch out for that candy with the needles in it. You know what I mean? Be careful with that. And also don't eat too much candy. You know what I mean? All right. In moderation. Amazing. Follow me across the board, Joel Friday TV, The Gift of the Dance, all across the board. JLP Network is live and active. JLP Radio Network is live and in effect. So go follow the YouTube channel, Instagram channel. We got a couple of videos that are posted. 2 videos already that have been posted. Go follow. Amazing. Thank you guys. Until next time, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.